Hi everyone, it's Lauren and welcome back to my series on how to start your own Booktube channel. There are lots of other videos in this series about the technical aspects of editing and uploading a video, and they will all be linked in the description box below and the series link there. This video is quite specific to Booktube, and this is about dealing with publishers. I think before people join Booktube, everyone thinks like, wow, one of the best perks is that you get sent free books. And getting sent books is pretty nice, I will admit. So these are my tips and tricks of the trade for how to get advanced readers copies of books, how to deal with publishers, and then also we're going to talk about doing sponsored videos as well. So let's start with how to get to the point where we get sent books. Now, in my experience, I've never heard of anybody who has been turned away by a publisher because they don't have enough subscribers or they don't have enough views. Generally, publishers seem to be really happy to send their books out to anybody who's going to influence it on social media. So if you want to request a specific book for a review purpose, I wouldn't be shy. And there's a couple of different things that you can do to do this. Every book that is published will have its own dedicated publicist, or it should do. So if there's a book that you know is going to come out in the coming months and you are really excited about it, look up where it's published. So say it's Vintage Books, go on their website and you should be able to find a list of contacts for who deals with specific types of books and what part of the world. So once you have a contact at that publishing house, all you need to do is send them an email. Just say, hi, my name is such and such. This is a link to my channel. This is the number of subscribers if you want. This is the number of views you get. I don't tend to do that anymore, actually. I think I did a few cold emails and I kind of put my numbers in and nobody really seemed that bothered. But there is advice that you can get from other people, which is like straight away tell them how many subscribers you have so that they'll answer your email. To be honest, I think if you just say, I have a book blog, I have a YouTube channel, whatever, it'll probably be enough, especially if you leave a link to it. And simply ask for the book that you would like to review. I wouldn't go in with a request for 50 books necessarily. I would keep it quite specific and targeted to maybe 1 or 2 or 3. But just ask for it, say who you are and give them an address. Sometimes they'll email back, sometimes they won't email back, sometimes they'll send you the book without even emailing back. So I really wouldn't worry about it. It's kind of like a business email. It's like a cold business email, but really what's the worst that can happen? I think the most difficult thing in this stage really is getting the right contact to begin with. So you might email someone and they could be the entirely wrong person, but that's all right. If you're unsure of who you're contacting, just say at the top of the email, if you could pass me on to the appropriate person, that would be great. Thanks. There's not very much to composing these emails, essentially. I have been quite lucky because I've got all of my publisher contacts from other people. So when you're first starting out on YouTube, you won't really have a network of other booktubers. But that's fine. If you see somebody's channel and they're going, oh, this is such and such, which was sent to me by Pam Macmillan, just ask them, send them a tweet, like direct message them, leave them a comment, whatever. Just say, oh, I would like that book. Can you let me know who your contact was and how you got it? Once you've liaised with publishers a couple of times, you tend to just get put on their mailing list, which is a much easier position to be in. And that's the position I'm in now. I don't tend to actually directly ask for books anymore. And once that happens, it's very easy and they will just email you a list of all of their releases that are coming up and say, would you like us to send you stuff? Sometimes publishers send you things unsolicited, which is sometimes nice, sometimes not so nice because you've only got a limited amount of space in your house. Although it's very exciting, I would try and limit the number of proofs that you get, just because you do have to read them. We don't have to read them, you know, it's up to you. But I would really try and limit it to things that you really want or are really interested in, because otherwise you can just end up with piles and piles of books that you just can't get through because you're physically unable to read that many. Something you can do to facilitate this and to make it easier for publishers to find you is to leave a business email in the description box underneath your videos, which I have. You can check right now, there's one there. I also have it on my channel as well, in the About Me page. I have a business email. I have my email on Twitter, I think, and on my Instagram page. It's all linked. So if anyone finds me and they would like to send me a book for review, then they have a way of contacting me. A downside of having public contact information is that you might be contacted by people and with offers that things that you don't really want to participate in. Something that I would highly advise to you. You don't have to take this advice, you can do what you want, but I would strongly advise that you make it your policy not to accept self-published work. It can be really difficult to get a book published, and I really empathise with those people that want to get their work out there. But probably for you, Booktube is not your job. Most likely, like 99.9% of us, YouTube is not our job. We have other jobs. This is a hobby, and this is something that we want to do to be part of a community and spread our love of reading. It's not your job to get an author's book published. So if an author comes to you and go, hi, I've written this book, I would really like you to read it and promote it on your channel, and you can download it here and all this other stuff. In order to protect yourself, I would just make it your policy to say no, because in that situation, you're dealing directly with the author and not with the publicist. And that can be quite dangerous because you need to read something and give your honest opinion of it. And if you're dealing directly with an author, that can put you in quite a difficult situation if you don't like the book. I mean, what do you say to them? And it also devalues everybody in that publishing chain, because books need to be edited and they need to be promoted. And there's a lot of people that are involved in publishing a book, and those people are very important and very valid. And it's not to say that this author might be a bad author or a bad writer, but they do need that support around them. And it's not your place to be there and to help them with that. As I said, this is my policy. You don't have to do what I do, you can do what you want. This is just advice I would give, is just to not let it start, because it can go down some very difficult routes, and it'd probably be better to not get involved in the first place. Now let's talk about interesting things. Let's talk about things that you get paid to do, or doing sponsored work for publishers or with prizes. Now, when you do get contacted by a publisher, this is what their email should say. This is a list of our latest releases. Let us know if there's any you want and we'll send them to you. There shouldn't be anything in that email which says, we will send you this book in exchange for a tweet, in exchange for a video, in exchange for a review, or anything like that. Publishers do not tend to have limited supplies of proofs. Beware of anyone that says we only have a few proofs for you. And it's very easy and very cheap for them to send them out to you. Their job is promotion and publicity. They want as much publicity and promotion that they can possibly get. If a publisher or a publicist is sending books out to normal print media and to journalists, they don't say to those journalists, you must write a review of this book and it must be at this time in your newspaper. And that's because if they wanted that, that would be a paid for advertisement. So that's how they really should view their relationship with YouTubers as well, because YouTubers aren't paid by anybody. Journalists are paid by the newspaper that they work for, and we are not. So from the publicist's perspective, if they send out the book and say, read it if you want, and then it's up to that reviewer to either write a review or write a blog or do a YouTube video, and it's all fine, and you've got a great relationship with that publisher. If anyone does request that they would love it for you to make a video on this book, to do a specific review or to tweet about it, you know, if they suggest that kind of thing, then that's absolutely fine. But that should come as a cost, because that is paid for advertising. It's very difficult when you first start out to start talking about money, and I know it's very difficult to price up your services, and it can feel very awkward when people are offering to give you something which is a free book and you think, oh God, I don't really want to ask them to pay me. But trust me, like, if people are doing proper marketing and a proper campaign, advertising costs a lot of money. There are huge budgets set aside for marketing. I will grant you that sending a tweet doesn't really feel like a job, or doing an Instagram post, or really doing a video doesn't really feel like it's that much of your time that you're giving up. But that's not what they're paying for. What they're paying for is the reach that you have. And you have that reach because you have spent hours and days and months and years building a channel, talking about things that you love, creating a relationship with your viewers, and you've done all that for free. You've done all that in your spare time. But it's the result of all of that hard work that they want to use. I understand it can be a little bit awkward if you have a very small channel and someone's offering to send you something and they're demanding that you do a video in return for it, and then you kind of feel a bit awkward asking for money. Like, it is a very tricky process, and every situation is different. But I think ultimately, if anyone is asking you to do some kind of work, any kind of promotional work really, and whether it's for a specific book or for a prize, or for an event or for a campaign, you need to make your own decisions about whether you're happy to do something for free or not, and what you're happy to work for. I certainly don't want to turn this into some kind of cautionary tale, because I generally haven't had nothing but good experiences with the publishers that I have personally worked with, and I've never had any problems. So I don't want anyone to get kind of worried that they're going to have to start having some big fight about money every time they get an email. That is not what I'm trying to say at all. I think it's just right that you should be aware at all stages of any kind of interaction, kind of what's going on and what your negotiating power is really, and just your channel is worth something and what you've built is worth something, and I think you should value that. If you really want to make money, you can look into brand deals. I have never done that because, you know, my YouTube isn't that big. I have a job outside of this. Anything I get for the work that I've done is just a nice bonus, really. I've been approached by all of the different prizes that I've worked with over the years. I've never sought out anything from them. So, you know, I would just relax if I were you. I think any money you earn through YouTube is just It's just a nice little extra. This is less about me saying be prepared to ask for money at all stages, and more about me saying just make sure if someone is asking anything of you or asking for too much in return, just make sure you've got something to go back at them with. So I hope that helped to uncover some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on between booktubers and publishers. If you have any questions about anything that I've mentioned or anything that I haven't mentioned, please leave them in the comments below and we can have a bit more of a discussion down there, because I'm not sure what people are unaware of. It's the kind of thing where it's really easy once you know the answer, but before you start getting involved in everything, it can seem a little bit daunting. Honestly, the best advice and the best tips and all the people to talk to, everything that I have ever done has come from another booktuber. And so I think we just all need to keep helping each other out. So I hope that you have enjoyed watching this whole series, and good luck in your own channel endeavours. I have every faith in you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!